Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Edge of Eternities draft here on the channel. Today, we are joined by the elite YouTube drafter, a former Pro Tour competitor, and now Pro Tour commentator. It's Paul Cheon. Welcome to the channel.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're having you on very early on in the cycle of the format, so you've only gotten a few drafts under your belt. What are your thoughts on the format so far?
Well, I've actually been struggling a little bit early on, just trying to figure out just how slow I can make my decks. And I have been getting run over. I think kind of coming into this format, I think we were told, hey, this is going to be all about, getting to the late game, some battle cruiser magic. But that hasn't necessarily been my experience in some of the games that I played. For example, I do think the lander mechanic is very strong, but I had a deck where I had way too many of them and I kind of got run over. So I'm still trying to find that right balance of playing to the board and not dirtling a little too much, but I can't help myself just because I like drawing cards. I like playing decks that have long late games. And so far, it hasn't been going well for me.
Yeah, I think that's always, whenever there's a new format, there's like natural styles that different players like to attack the format from. Some people always try to find the fastest deck. Some people try to push the limits on the slow decks. I have found that I almost always just find myself, I feel like drafting the underdrafted archetypes right off the bat because I don't try to force my way into particular lanes. So I've just been playing a bunch of different decks, trying out the different strategies. I've been trying to test out the different archetypes versus necessarily making the best pick every time. But it's been a lot of fun so far. What are your which decks/strategies? You say you've been struggling, but which decks have you been playing that you've maybe been struggling with? Are they the late game artifact control decks or the blue-green decks, or what color combos?
Yeah, I had a Dimir control deck, which looked pretty good on paper, but the problem was I had way too much card draw, and I naturally decked myself 3 or 4 times. And one other thing about the Dimir deck in particular is because I spent so many of my picks on removal spells and card draw spells, I actually didn't have enough creatures, and my primary win condition were the spacecrafts. And that is just not a combination, right? Just having a deck where you have a bunch of removal spells and card draw, and then you're trying to win with spacecrafts that you just can't station up was a big problem. So that's something that I learned drafting that archetype. One archetype that I feel like looks really strong, and I've had people have a lot of success against me, is the blue-red artifacts deck. It's a little bit more aggressive, and I just feel like the cards synergize together very, very well. You just take all the artifacts and with a handful of signpost cards, I think that deck is quite strong.
Yeah, I've really liked the Grixis combination. So black-red feels really easy to trigger all of its payoff cards. Blue-red artifacts, blue-black artifacts, those kind of synergy packages have felt really good to me. And then it feels like the white cards, I've just early on I've been taking them less happily. There's just not a card I'm oh my gosh, I love taking this card at common, where some of the other colors have that. But as we dive into the draft portion of things, are there any cards that you think you like more than the rest of the world right now that we should keep our eye out for?
I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm kind of questioning everything that I do right now.
Perfect.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's early in the format, so it's kind of hard to tell. You just see really wacky picks late right now. For example, Galactic Wayfarer, which might be the best common in the entire set, and you're still getting it 6th or 7th pick. Now, as far as I mean, certainly that's not an undervalued card. It's a good question. I think a card that you often get super late that I do think is a very good combat trick. Admittedly, I also don't take it very highly, is the Biosynthetic pump spell.
Oh yeah, the green one.
That card seems to be quite strong. I've lost to it a fair number of times. Of course, you need to be a little more aggressively slanted, and so my decks have generally not been able to use it the best. But I imagine in, for example, a nice aggressive green-white shell, that card can be very, very good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Early drafts are more Wild West. You get a lot of really strong cards late, but it's harder to read signals because nobody knows what's good yet. But later drafts, everyone knows what's good, so it's hard to get the good cards that you want late in the draft. So there's the balancing act where you kind of get pros and cons of early drafts and late drafts.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. Diving on into the draft. Okie doke, let's open something good here. We have gotten solid rare, 2 mana, 3/2, trample haste, and kind of that's it. Then in this pack, there's also Honor. There's Diplomatic Relations, the errata card,
Right.
Cryogen Relic. What card do you like here?
Probably not the rare. Just double green is kind of too hard to cast.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I don't really like starting things off with an aggressive white card, so I'd probably look at possibly one of the two commons there. Cryogen Relic, very good in just basically most of the blue decks. Diplomatic Relations, also a solid trick as well. Another card I've been very surprised by is Mouth of the Storm, but I don't know if I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily want to start out the draft with a 7-mana flyer. There's so many
Yeah.
good, expensive late game win conditions where I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to take these super highly. So I'd lean towards one of the commons here. I am a believer in the Cryogen Relic, so
Same.
that's maybe where I'd lean. Now, first picking something like this might not be great, but I don't know. I've just really been happy with this card in basically every deck I draft.
This was one of those cards where I read it and then I was like, oh, that's not the best. And then I realized that it's basically like a better version of Think Twice because it comes into play. You can sacrifice it for 2 mana instead of 3 mana. And that really
Right.
helped boost me on the card, especially when there's artifact synergies in the set. So we've started off with a blue comment, though it's not like a card we have to take. Now we see Bioengineered Future. There is Station Monitor in blue-white. There's another blue card, Cryo Shatter. Umbral Collar Zell is pretty good. What do you like here?
Well, that signpost uncommon is certainly very interesting in the station monitor. The cut propulsion is also just a really good removal spell that I think fits nicely into kind of the blue-red artifact shell, if that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to do as well. Bioengineer Future, I had a chance to play that card. I think it's bad.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
very, very bad for me. So
Yeah, same.
yeah, I wouldn't look to that. I would look at one of those two uncommons.
Okie doke. So I guess we could stay more flexible by taking a
Yeah, I mean, you like
mono-colored card.
Grixis. Yeah, yeah, you like Grixis, and we first picked the Cryogen Relic, but that certainly doesn't mean that that's where we're going to end up.
Yeah, exactly. There's like varying levels of first picks, like, oh, I want to play this no matter what, versus, okay, I can take it or leave it. And this is definitely in that second category. Okay, this pack, there's a Territorial Bruntar in red or an Oreplate Pangolin. Blue, there's Steel Swarm Operator or Breach Whale. And then, I mean, this land is horrifically unplayable.
Yeah, I think the best card is probably the Bruntar. If you're not sure you're going to end up in the artifacts deck, like this is just a really solid top end card. And
Yeah.
if you ever get to untap with this and play another land, I think it's quite strong. I think if you are 100% in the artifacts deck, then you can certainly make the argument to take either the Pangolin or the 1/1 flyer. But I think
Mhm.
it could be early enough where maybe we just take 2 red cards and see what our second color actually is going to be.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, especially because it's not like we have a signal that blue is open. We just like first picked this card. We haven't seen any crazy good blue cards yet. So we've got a couple red cards, a blue card, and then we look at this pack and there's like a All Fate Stalker and a Depressurized that come to mind for me. What do you like here?
Well, I think the All Fate Stalker is a better card and probably an indication that white might be open. I know we haven't drafted it too often, but I do think it's a better card than Depressurize. So I would be probably leaning in that direction and seeing maybe what we can do. Now, it's weird to have Territorial Bruntar in a red-white deck just because typically you're a little more aggressively slanted, but I do think the card is quite strong and more
Yeah.
of a signal than seeing something like a Depressurize late.
Yeah. And now we
Ooh.
get rewarded. There's a Wedge Light Rammer. This is a spacecraft, the first one we've kind of seen that's pretty solid, it looks like.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to play with it yet, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Totally solid card. Red white has a lot of things that want you to tap down your creatures as well for random bonuses, and having some solid spacecrafts help with that. And this thing already just gives you a body by itself. So do like the Wedge Light Rammer a decent amount here.
There's also the Wayfarer, your favorite.
Yeah, no, and I think the Wayfarer could potentially be. I mean, you can make an argument that it's a slightly better card, but given that we took the All Fate Stalker already, I just feel like it makes sense to just take the Rammer here, just because
Yeah.
it's not that they're not too far apart where you should just look to take a fourth color of a card.
Yeah, I think also it's interesting because, like, as we already said, the card seeing it fifth pick might be a signal later in the format when people realize that the Galactic Wayfarer is super good. But for now, people are just passing that card around. Whereas if they see like, oh, I'm passing this white uncommon, I don't really want to play white. Versus,
Right.
So it might be more of a signal point in that way. Here, I mean, nothing crazy. There's Scrapper. There's none of the cards are exciting.
Enhancer has been okay. I've actually been somewhat surprised by most of the warp cards in general. Just like on rate by themselves, they're not particularly strong.
Mhm.
But you can warp this in, you can station up one of your spacecrafts, and then also just the +1/+1 counters can come in handy. Now that's not to say I think the card's actually very strong,
Yeah,
but
that was
I
a bit of
think
a weak pack.
that was a weak pack, right?
Now, the white cards are a little drying up. Bright Spear Zealot here. There's also
Yeah.
Cryogen Relic again. War Rager.
Yeah, I would probably maybe just take the relic here. Just
Yeah.
there's no red or white card here that really stands out to me. I'm not really a big fan of the 2/4 vigilance creature. So maybe
Yeah.
we take the relic, and maybe there's a world where we can pivot into a blue-white shell. Can totally see that being the case.
Late Cryo Shatter, at least it seems to me. I really like this card. I've been pretty impressed.
Yeah, very, very solid card. Also nice that it's a 1-mana spell to turn on maybe your multiple spells matters type effect. So I think this
Yeah.
could be a good opportunity for us to move out of red into blue.
Yep.
The Luminary is also a very solid card. I think this card is just, you even when you just play this for 4 mana, it's fine. But the fact that it also gives you the opportunity to play something on 2 is pretty nice too.
Yeah. No, a little bit weaker pack. There's Moxite. I mean, this is just stuff that's wheeling. Lots of red cards still, though.
I think maybe I'll take the Moxite. I don't know. Maybe you can take the 1-drop, but they're both pretty bad. But the thing is with the Moxite, if we somehow shift back into blue-red, certainly this card would be a little bit better. And I think the 1-drop is kind of replaceable. Like I like the 1-drop specifically in green-white, where you have lots of +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, I think it's, especially in like any deck except green-white, you don't have a ton of counters running around. Nothing really going here. These are all pretty bad.
I don't even know what Robe of Stars does. What is that card?
It's like +0/+3, and you can phase something out. It's like a
okay.
Wow,
all
Pangolin
right.
Wield.
Well,
that's kind of.
I mean, yeah, that's if we somehow end up back into blue-red, it's like we got the 2 white uncommons, and then it kind of dried up.
Yeah, it's been a weird draft.
Yeah, it certainly is, but this is how some of my drafts have been going, so maybe I'm not the best person to look at. I do like Drill Too Deep though. We are playing best of 3.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I think the artifacts decks are actually worse in best of 3, just because there's so many different shatter effects that exist in the format.
Well, I think our first pack went interestingly. I don't think we have a single rare in our pool right now, but we have some strong cards, and I think red did seem kind of open towards the end there. We have avenues into white-red, avenues into blue-red, and then in this pack, we kind of have not a great mythic here, but we have Debris Field Crusher, if you like that card. There's Desculpting Blast. There's Plasma Bolt, which I love. Lots of good options.
Yeah, I think Plasma Bolt is probably a pretty decent option here. The Field Crusher has just been okay to me. It's like you're spending a lot of resources to get a 1/5 flyer.
Yeah.
And then you have to tap a bunch of mana. And then outside of that, it's a pretty inefficient removal spell. So I've been less impressed with this one relative to maybe some of the other spacecrafts.
Yeah. I've really liked, we haven't seen it yet, but the 7 mana one that like comes into play and deals 10 to something and then like is a 7/7 flyer. I like that one a lot. Decent amount. Okay, so we've got Plasma Bolt. I think red, we're definitely playing red at this point. We kind of have our options open with other colors. So here there is Specimen Freighter as a blue card. I've played this like once. It was pretty reasonable. There's Pulsar Squadron Ace if we want help finding our spacecrafts. There's Terra Pact Intimidator, which I love.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like given that we're not 100% settled into blue or white, I think just continuing to take good red cards and staying a little bit more open is, and the thing is, it's not even clear that this card is worse than the Pulsar anyways. So I think I would just take the Intimidator here and just see where this goes.
Yeah, it's looking like at least red's kind of open for maybe both directions, which is good.
Yep.
Okay, another Bruntar. There's Void Forge. I guess we're not playing black. Seems like a pretty decent time to take a Bruntar number 2 here, or a Pangolin, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Bruntar. Yeah, it really just comes down to where you think we're going to end up in this draft. It's like if we're going to go blue-red, the Pangolin might just be better, given that we already have one Bruntar. If we're looking to go white, we can certainly take the 2-mana 1/1. But maybe we just keep taking the red cards here.
Yeah, Pangolin might be better. You're right. 2 Bruntars is a lot of Bruntars.
Especially if we end up in blue-red, I just feel like Pangolin is going to be... And it looks like maybe both of us are leaning towards blue-red a little more than red-white. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's Interceptor Mechan's really good, but I don't think we're going to go into black at this point.
There's a really good white 2-drop.
Yeah, Sunstar Expansionist. This card is excellent. Really, really
Yeah.
strong.
I mean, we probably should just take it, I think. I think it is
Yeah.
significantly better than Cryo Shatter, and we're
Yeah.
not seeing that much blue out of this pack. And
Hmm.
so I feel like, given that we saw some of those uncommons in pack one and we're seeing this late, there's still a shot we get a couple of extra white cards, and, ending up with a solid aggro red white deck seems okay too.
Yeah. I also think that like the blue cards we have are the sort of blue cards that like you get late, like they're random commons. Oh,
Right.
nice. We see Sammy,
Yeah.
ship's engineer. This could be
Yeah.
real good for us.
Absolutely. I
We
mean, especially if we can pick up maybe another spacecraft, that would
hmm
be reasonable. Of course, you can just attack and trigger it too. But yeah, it
Yeah.
does feel like this is a pretty good card that lets us kind of choose to go into red white here over red blue.
Yeah, exactly. And then Starfighter Pilot could also theoretically be good in this deck. This is the kill ship, the one that we mentioned briefly before. Okay.
Yep.
Another Pangolin. Wow, this card's so good. I love the Monoist Circuit Feeder.
Oh,
It's just
that
been
card's ridiculous.
it's been insane. I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't believe this is still in the pack. Pick 6.
Yeah.
But I think we're just gonna take a Pangolin here.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're, maybe a red white aggressive deck. And then if we have any close calls, maybe lean towards taking the artifact over the non-artifact creature. You know what I mean? I think that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at.
Like future Starport securities might be better with the Pangolins.
Or the dockside workers are great.
Yeah.
I have not liked that card very much, the actuator.
Yeah.
It's been tricky to pull off, specifically in red white. I think Sacred Foundry is probably just a pick.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
It's just good mana fixing.
Yeah, this card's really cool in like some of the black red decks where you just have like
Yeah.
tons of removal, but like in red white, we only have Plasma Bolt to trigger it, really.
Right, exactly.
Ooh, Slag Drill Scrapper. I mean, it's late Tractor Beam, but Scrapper
That
could
is
be
a late
perfect.
Tractor Beam, but I think Tractor Beam is a card that people don't even know, like, quite
Yeah.
how good that card is. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the Trapper's totally fine, especially with the triple Pangolin. Radiant
Yeah.
Strike is not really what kind of a red white aggressive deck wants, probably. So,
yeah. Oh, we get all the Pangolins. The good thing
Mono
about
Pangolins.
the thing about there was a moment where I thought that this card might be like an artifact creature like Beast or something like that, and so I was like, oh, I wonder what creature type Pangolin is, and then I just realized it's just straight up. It's like the only
just
Pangolin
a
in
Pangolin.
Magic. Just yeah, it's just
And Sammy puts an artifact token into play, correct?
yes, that is actually.
and look at that. Pulsar tabled, white is wide open.
We are crushing it this draft all of a sudden.
All
Also,
right.
Pangolin triggers itself. Like, if you play a second Pangolin, you're going to be able to
Oh,
put
they're
a counter
good in
on the-
multiples for sure.
Oh, Bruntar
We
came
just
back.
got everything. Okay.
We could even take this card. It's an artifact with Flash.
It is. I don't. I
I think it's bad, though.
I think the brunt, especially in best of 3, like I don't know how many of these we're gonna start, but against a deck with a bunch of removal, like I think it's a pretty good sideboard card too.
Nice. The mech red and white seem very open. I think we've kind of found a good lane for our draft here. Like,
I think so as well.
we've got double art. Like, Red Tiger Mechan isn't a great card, but it does trigger our artifact stuff twice, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
wow, this is one of the worst packs I've ever seen for what we could have opened. My gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my
This is pretty weak. I actually, normally I hate removal spells like the emergency eject, but I have found that giving them a lander token isn't as bad. It's like a little bit clunky, and we kind of need interaction. And there's
Yeah.
also literally nothing else for us.
Yeah, boosters
So-
is fine. Moxite's kind of bad.
Yeah.
We already have one. This is
Right, exactly.
kind of a like Coral of the Void is really strong if you can work it, like get it going. Ilvoy Infiltrator's been insane for me, but like obviously
Yep.
we're not going that direction when red white seems super open. We already have like 23 playable or 22 playables right now, so we're in good shape, I think.
Ooh. I wonder, that rare might be good, right?
Yeah, the hard light containment basically gets rid of something until it leaves
Ideally, you
battlefield.
put it on. Yeah, but ideally you put it on like a non-artifact creature, I guess.
Like a lander token
But
or on a
that's-
melded
that's
Moxite.
that's not too hard to pull off. Yeah, I mean it's either that. Although granted, I mean if this deck's going to be aggressive, the 3-mana 2/2 also looks pretty solid. Just
Yeah.
as we don't have any 3s, so maybe it just fits naturally better into our. We literally have no 3-drops.
Yeah, I also think that the Wormwall Sweeper could be good for our deck, just as another artifact, a way to trigger our tapping
Yep.
stuff.
Agreed.
And then like even any artifacts are like, I always catch my eye right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here there is Scout for Survivors. Doesn't seem great in our deck.
No.
There's another Pangolin. There's Night Luminary. I kind of like this one. Frontline War Rager, another card that cares about stuff getting tapped.
Yeah, I
Rares
think
just
I think might maybe just take a Luminary here or a Pangolin. Those are kind of the options.
yeah.
I
Luminary
mean, maybe we
seems
just want to lean into the artifacts. I don't know.
yeah. I feel like another Pangolin's probably fine. I mean,
Sure.
might as well. I mean, the Luminaries doesn't. We don't really have any
No,
tokens
we don't have
stuff.
any go wide stuff. And besides, you know what our turn 3 play is? It's play
Pangolin
another
counter.
Pangolin, and pump. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Cheon likes pangolins. Here we go.
There you go.
That's just how this draft has gone. There's a Plasma Bolt and a Banishing Light. So 2 removal spells. I think those are the only 2 real options. I guess there's another modifier.
I know so this is interesting. Maybe we need a big creature removal. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was leaning towards that as well. I realized this.
Yeah,
I was like, normally I'd take Plasma Bolt every time, but it's like
right.
we don't have that many good answers for late game stuff. We have like Cut Propulsion, which is kind of dicey. Oh my gosh. This card's insane.
Yeah,
this card is messed
ridiculous. Especially like a red-green deck, you end up with several other Kavu, so it's not as and it's also just a good 3-drop too. Like the All-Fate Stalker is also in this pack. But
yeah, this is a really good pack. We already got 2 other Kavus we could play, a third Kavu with a modifier. So we already have a few other Kavus.
Okay.
The first time I played the Possibility Technician and realized that it can like work even if it dies if you just play another Kavu in the future was like crazy.
Right.
Now there's another Kavu, the Memorial Team leader.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm not considering the 6-drop. I'm wondering if just the drone is better in this type of deck. Just like it's an artifact.
Yeah, that seems
when it
fair.
dies, you get value. It just seems like a really, really good card. Whew, okay.
Another Sammy. Nice.
Another Sammy, okay.
Whew, we're going to have to make sure we can get our creatures tapped somehow. I mean, this thing taps itself, which is nice.
Attack.
Okay, yes, good call, good call. Good call, good call. Don't overthink it, just all out aggro. Ooh, all right. Nice.
This is...
Yeah.
This is what I mean, right? This is what the second day of the format. There's no way the red-black uncommon, Galactic Wayfarer, like there's no way these cards should still be in the pack.
Yeah, I even think Exosuit Savior is fine in some decks.
Yeah,
Bombard is perfect for us. Okay. A way to tap our creatures. Another artifact. I don't know which one's better.
Yeah, you can take either. Maybe I don't think we're gonna want to play Command Bridge in this type of deck.
Yeah, same. I don't think we're going to want to play 2 Melded Moxites either. Ooh.
We're not going to play either of those cards either.
I think Worm Wall Sweeper. I think we got... Because
and you know what? It taps our creatures too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. And also, it's like a good way to like make sure we don't flood out, find our good stuff.
We have so many 2-drops.
Oh, yeah. This card wheeled. That's crazy. Yeah. Frontline War Rager, I guess, is a Kavu for the Technician.
I mean, we're not going to play either, probably. So...
Yeah. I'll bring this guy just for sideboard reasons. I don't even know. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this, there are decks where the Artificer or the modifier is not great, but in this particular deck, I think it's really strong.
Squire's Lightblade's actually looking great with 5 Pangolins. Not gonna lie.
Sure.
Because it gets a counter on your guys.
That is pretty nuts. It's just we gotta cut cards. That's gonna be the hard part.
We have a lot of cards to cut, but I'll just sort through some of the ones that I'm gonna initially consider cutting to make this a little bit easier for us. I mean, Night Luminary almost certainly going. We can probably consider cutting Emergency Eject because we got extra removal spells. We can probably cut some number of Caveron Sky Wardens. I would cut all of them probably. Yeah, we don't need Drill too deep. We have so many good cards. The Squire, Slag Drill Scrapper, maybe. I'm just gonna cut the Caverons, the Night Luminary, the Emergency Eject, and the Drill too deep for now. We have so many 2-drops. How many 2-drops do you normally like cap yourself at? Oh, we don't need the Moxites at all.
Yeah, you can cut the Moxites. I don't know. I mean, usually you start going through and try to pick out the ones that aren't particularly strong. But I kind of like all of them.
Yeah, we have 10 2-drops right now. That is a lot.
Yeah. I don't think the Mechan is particularly strong.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't see that one.
Probably look to cut that one.
We could cut the Weft Blade.
Yeah, we can probably get rid of that too.
2 more. Do you like playing 17 lands in this deck, or do you think we have a couple 6-drops?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like this deck is clearly looking to beat your opponents down before they get to do anything, right? So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you can even make the argument to cut the 6 drops and then play 16 lands.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
is something I was thinking about for sure. And then we can cut a plains because we're mostly red. And then we add back in
And then,
another cheap card or something like that.
yeah, I mean, either how much? What are we looking at for removal or interaction rather?
Our removal is Plasma Bolt, Bombard, Banishing Light, Cut Propulsion at
And
the
the 4
moment.
mana
And then the All
creature.
Fate Stalker, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, maybe we just want to put one more. The thing is, we're so aggressive where it doesn't matter as much that we're
Right.
giving them the lander. So I feel
Yeah.
like maybe we just want one more way to kind of, you know, get a 4/4 off the battlefield, and then we just kind of beat our opponents down that way.
Yeah, I think this deck looks really cool. We even have good sideboard options. Like if we're playing a more grindy matchup, we could bring in the
Right.
Bruntars. We could bring in like Caveron, Skywardens, and go a little bit bigger than our opponents if they don't expect it. Maybe we have Drill Too Deep, which is a great sideboard card. I think we really found the open lane here and ended up with a sweet deck. We even have a decent number of Kavus. We have 4 Kavus, so
4 Kavus, nice.
we got them like
Yeah.
last pick too. Like we were getting these guys. Nobody wanted the molecular modifier.
Right. Right.
But
And
yeah,
what's our artifact count? I guess that's the only other
artifacts, 10 artifacts.
10 artifacts.
And then this guy
Yeah.
can make. Then this guy can. Which one? This guy can make an artifact if we don't have enough lands.
Right.
This guy can
Yep.
make artifacts as well.
Yeah, I mean,
These can make
I would say that card's been a 4/3 about 90% of the time I've played it, or
Yeah.
I've had it played. I've seen it
Yeah.
played, but
Yeah, it's been a 4-3 a lot of the time, and when it isn't a 4-3, I feel like it usually should have been a 4-3.
right, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks so much for coming on as a guest, Paul. Where can people find you if they want to watch more of your awesome stuff?
Yeah. So basically, the vast majority of the things that I do are basically on YouTube. So I post daily limited videos, mostly draft, and you're going to be able to find that at youtube.com/@haumph, HAUMPH.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where you're going to be able to see daily videos from things that I do.
Yeah, I will put a link to that in the description down below so folks can find it super easily. It's really, really great stuff. You're one of the best drafters in the world, and you make videos every day. So it's really educational stuff and really fun as well. Thank you so much for coming on as a guest. We're going to let you go so I can play the game solo. As I like to say, if the deck wins, it's because you helped me draft a masterpiece. If it loses, clearly it was pilot error, so you're a winner either way.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. This was probably the best draft deck that I've seen so far.
Let's go.
But of course, like I said, I haven't been doing a lot of winning, so you take that for what you will.
Well, we'll change that on this video. Thanks so much for coming on, Paul.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to the NicolaiBolas Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you've been enjoying my videos and you support my mission to grow the draft community worldwide by making it more accessible for everyone, then Patreon is the way to do that directly. You can gain access to some cool bonus content in the process, and you'll be helping me make more videos, more draft guides, more sheets, all of the stuff that helps make draft more fun for players that don't have all the time to invest in doing all of the research themselves. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a huge difference, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1. We're going to keep this. We are playing best of 3 because I wanted to make sure we got 3 matches in with this deck, regardless of the swings of fate. This is a really good hand, though. Sammy plus a spacecraft is just a really good combination. We have one of our many 2-drops. Of course, the combination we were all waiting for. Pangolin into Pangolin. The dream. Okay. Sure. Do we just have this thing punch itself? I don't think so. I think we can afford to be a little bit patient. No attacks, because this thing can block their 2/2, in theory. Their double striker. And this is kind of an aggressive mirror match. Before we get any farther in this match, though, I do want to give a huge shout out to Paul Cheon for coming on the channel. He is a fantastic player, one of my personal favorites, and you can learn a ton by watching his stuff. He's regularly one of the highest ranked players on the arena ladder. He makes really good videos where he really explains everything he does, and overall, I think you'll learn a lot by like watching his stuff. Okay, so we will try to make this trade happen. If they have a combat trick, they have a combat trick. That is the worst scenario for us, for sure. I guess I should have thought of this card when I was deciding to make that block. I guess that's kind of the only card that punishes me in that way. I'm just going to do this. I could have played Sammy, but I can't reliably double spell the following turn. And this way I'm only taking 3. I used as much mana as possible because if I do draw another mountain, I can do some stuff. Okay. Sure. I'll save myself a little bit of life. They can use Starport security and hit me for 6, though. Why wouldn't they attack with Gene Pollinator? They must have a 3-mana play. Okay, I go to 11. Get rid of their Starport security. And then I take another 6, go to 5. But then I've got my army of 2/2s coming. And I'll still be able to hold up Sammy. So this is really the last turn where they're going to be really able to do some damage to me, I think. And then I'll take over with my flyer, hopefully. This card's not really doing anything. Being at 5 life won't be the end of the world. This could maybe even find me my Worm Sweeper, whatever it's called. Nice little bit of value from them. That's a great draw. Didn't find it, but that's okay. This way we can save our removal spell a little bit. If they have a fight spell, which they might have, if they have another relations, we'll be in pretty good shape here. We can go like block, block. Or just go block, block, take 3, go to 2. Maybe we should have shocked in our Sacred Foundry to just zap this thing. It might have saved us more damage overall. This is one of the benefits of holding up your removal spell. We get to blow out their combat trick. I mean, their spell like that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So this thing will trigger. As Paul said, why wouldn't we just attack? Let's just kill the Gene Pollinator. Stop their flyer from being a 3/3. I think we're in pretty good shape here. We also don't want this to be a 3/3 because then it's a 3-turn clock versus a 2-turn clock in the air. No need to make that happen. Okay, that's scary. I think we will sack this. This being a 3/3 won't make a huge difference, but getting an extra mountain out of the deck could be good. Okay. So if we attack with all of our 2/2s, they can go block, trade, trade. We can almost alpha strike kill them, right? They have 3 blockers. They can block 3, 5, 7, and then they take. Yeah. Well, that's bad. That's a huge draw. So we have to kill the flyer. Attack with 4. They go block, block. So next turn they have 2 blockers. They can block 2, 4. They take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Uh-oh. That's a great draw. I don't think we want this random dock worker either. So we attack them with all 5 of these. We attack with, maybe we attack with Sammy plus 5 of these. They go eat Sammy, make a guy, trade, trade. Eat Sammy, trade, trade, take 6. Wow, that's a smart block. They're clearly suspicious of my Sammy attack. They have to block something, which is why I attacked like this. Honestly, a super smart block, not to block the Sammy. They have to decide what they think I have. There's no chance I'm blocking with this guy. Let's just end the turn, though. Might as well have the extra chump blocker available. I think we got him, though. We have 7 attackers next turn. They have 2 blockers currently. Even if they have a kill spell and the ability to still activate their Star Forge, I think we got him. So they have an artifact there. This is an artifact somehow. Another artifact there. Radiant Strike is good to know about. A couple of diplomatic relations. I'm just thinking about games 2 and 3. Hopefully not a game 3. Hopefully we just win. This was a crazy one. We were really behind and we had to stabilize. This card's real scary. If they'd drawn a land, we'd be at 1 right now. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. They can make a blocker and kill one of my guys. Let's just say they can deal with 2 of my threats. If they kill this guy, it's really bad for me. But I lose to that anyway. They would have done that before if they had a kill spell for this guy. If they kill this thing, they have 3. They don't have enough mana to do that, and this. Sometimes you gotta be brave. Like, I could have lost if they had another game 3, get their guy back type situation. So they have a couple of diplomatic relations. They have a Radiant Strike. Starport Security. That's not an artifact. This could be a good matchup for Bruntars on the draw. I don't think the Sky Warden's necessary, but a big reach creature at the top end could be pretty solid. Then I cut like a dock worker drone. And emergency eject. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent plan on the draw. Emergency eject seems annoying, like giving them a lander in a long drawn out game, because that they did seem like they could maybe stall us out. And they have the insect guy to make the lander token extra scary. Okay. Though maybe we just had a weird game. Normally I feel like we should be on the front foot. But on the draw, it's nice to have this kind of sideboard plan, and it's nice to see it in action maybe, so. Okay, we will mulligan this, though. If we had 1 more land, we could keep it, though. We can keep this. Let's ditch the Pangolin. Could have ditched the Squadron Ace as well. Maybe that would have been better. Okay, here comes our Intimidator. Probably going to be a 4-3, I imagine. Though, they might not think we care about the landers that much. Yeah, it's a 4-3. As usual, I'm not surprised. Gene Pollinator, okay. Night Luminary, sure. We will actually just go on the beatdown plan now. Start forcing chump blocks. We can still hold back all the 1/1s with this guy, and hitting them for 5 is pretty good. This being a 2-3 is honestly pretty decent. What did I cut for this thing? Oh, I cut like that kill spell. Yeah, that's probably okay for me as well. They still can't attack me, which is nice. This guy's pretty good at breaking through a board stall. Yeah, I cut the kill spell and one of my 2-drops. Ooh, that's a really good draw as well. Keep sending in the gang. Okay, focus fire, got me. This would be better if I had a land drop to make as well, but this is still fine. They have 2 cards left. If we draw a land this next turn, we're in pretty good shape, I think. We can make this trade pretty happily. We have our 2-2 to block all their other guys. So are they going to go get an equipment? Let's just count on drawing a land eventually. Keep the pressure up. I am worried about them having an equipment with their Honored Knight Captain. I can Banishing Light their equipment the following turn, but there's not really crazy good equipments at common and uncommon in this set. Once I draw a land, I can double spell. Okay, the Diplomatic Relations, sure. Mana Flood does tend to lose to Mana Screw. I have all this action to play once I draw a single land to like double spell. I've just been playing out my stuff pretty efficiently. No need to make the trade. Trading 3 for 3 is pretty good for me at this point still. Especially because this is going to be a pretty reasonable body. Oh, that is definitely going to be a problem for me. I will get rid of that immediately. Let's send in like this. We don't want to let them make any trades. Glad we had that Banishing Light. Oh my gosh. We'll probably bring in our Drill Too Deep for Game 3 if there is a Game 3. Oh, yikes. That's scary. If I draw a land, I can still hit them for a giant amount of damage. Play the Squadron Ace. Beautiful. And then we will use the Lander token so we can play Bruntar next turn guaranteed. Things turned around. The Sariema was pretty bad for me. Oh, whoops. I thought this was their end step. Here's hoping they don't have a kill spell. Drill too deep, definitely looking good now. Do they not realize it has reach? They do. We're going to warp this just to get as much value as possible. We'll be able to play that on a future turn. Let's just get our Wedge Light Rammer down. So I need to get it to 9. So this is 5, 6, 7, 2. Okay. I know they have 2 diplomatic relations, but they've already used 1. Okay. Feeling kind of glad I saved it now. Sure, play the Pangolin. Then we can kill their 10/10. Oh, this only costs 3 mana play. For some reason, I thought it cost 4. Okay. I am still in dicey position because the Serium is scary. Let's just keep doing this first. I think getting rid of their giant flyer does make the most sense. They are somewhat low. Oh, definitely want Plasma Bolt. The Territorial Kavu was key out of the sideboard here. Because now we have 8 damage in the air, 5. Boom! Oh, man, we got the win. That was a satisfying one. We did it for you, Paul. You might have been struggling to win on your own, but you'll help us win. Oh, great. See you next round. Welcome to round 2. We're back to our base configuration. No Kavus at the top end. Oh, again, we just need one more land for this to be great, but we'll keep this second hand. Nice little one. I could put away the Pulsar Squadron. That's a bit greedy. Wedgelight Rammer is probably better than All Fates Stalker. We'll do it like that. I could have put away a land as well. That's always tempting. But on the play, it's a little dicey as well. Red, black, okay. I guess maybe I should have played the Terra Pact Intimidator. Just get the 4/3 into play right off the bat. I was a bit too obsessed with mana efficiency there, I think. Where are they going to surveil? So next turn, I think we still just play the Wedgelight Rammer, attack with our one guy. Crew up, or station this thing. Then on the following turn, when we play Terra Pact, we can probably station it again. That's a great draw. Ramping up the pressure. Because then this thing can hit for 4 in the air. And they will probably have a lot of removal in red-black. Sure. They have depressurized. That's pretty good against Wedgelight Rammer. In games 1 of best of 3 matches, I try not to play around too much because you don't know everything in their deck. It's safe to assume they probably have a depressurized in their deck somewhere, though. That resolved pretty quickly. Okay, so we're out of gas, but the Scrapper is going to be really helpful for us. They don't have a kill spell, at least one that could kill Wedge Light Rammer. And we can attack them for a bajillion damage next turn, potentially. Okay, that's not going to help them at all. Making Pangolin even bigger is not really what I'm worried about. I haven't seen the tons of removal spells that I expected to see. Bombard, okay. Sure. Might as well go fetch up a plains and then sacrifice the plains with the Slag Drill Scrapper. Okay. Attack with everything. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They go block here. Block here. Mm-hmm. Perfect. I just needed one more of them to stay tapped. And now with Plasma Bolt, they're at a functional 4. I could have gotten them to 5, but then this thing would be dead. I have a random 2/2 instead. That might have been better. Mm-hmm. So let's just say they kill one of my guys. They block another one. They're still dead. Okay. Got the win in game 1. So they have a lot of artifacts in the deck. So Drill 2 Deep is looking pretty good. They didn't show me a lot of removal spells, honestly, so bringing in one Bruntar could be fine, potentially. Like, I didn't see any kill spells that could kill Bruntar in that entire game, except Pain for All, kind of, if their guy gets huge. So one Bruntar seems like a fine way to balance that, and then we can cut a Dock Worker drone. Maybe we cut Squire's Nightblade, though that card still seems solid. I do expect All Fate Stalker to be worse, but it is still good against Pangolin and getting a bunch of stuff. The Slag Drill Scrapper was pretty good. Maybe I just cut one Pangolin on the draw. Usually it's like, okay, I have 4 of them still. I'd rather have a Bruntar, I think, in this matchup. Just one, though, for now. On the draw, especially. And Drill Too Deep just looks pretty good in the matchup as well. Okay. We have to mulligan because we don't have both our colors. We can keep this, though. And ditch. On the draw, I will ditch a Plains, I think. Let's just ditch the Scrapper. Making sure we can play our cards out is usually pretty solid. Nothing for them so far. Only red sources. Interesting. Pressure. Under pressure. They only have Brett Mountains right now. That's pretty good for us. Looks like they kept something maybe sketchy. Roving Actuator, sure. This is an artifact, right? Yep. Destroy target artifact. It's important to try to punish your opponent sometimes. Oh. Unfortunate, unfortunate for sure. Nice little value from them. So they got a 2-for-1, and we mulliganed, and our land draws are not really cooperating as much, so they're in good shape here for sure. Yeah, they've got it all. I wish I could Plasma Bolt this. I just don't have a second mountain. And they've got their color now, which is unfortunate for sure. Well, luckily, we can kill the Bruntar. It's just we're kind of in trouble. That's a problem. If we find a Pangolin, though, then the Squire's Blade will save us. Just now we can't kill the Rager. If we'd had a mountain at any point this game, we would have been able to kill it, and then we'd be in fine shape. Oh gosh, what a brutal loss. Putting the Scrapper down there. Max punished. Oh, that was unfortunate for sure. Definitely a big loss for us. So Litho Breaking is good to know about. They have a card that can kill the Bruntar. Bring this in, cut. Gosh, they might have even sideboarded that in. I think we like this configuration, though. I think the one Bruntar at the top end gives me a lot of extra uses. Maybe bringing in the 3/3 Haster would have been good. Yeah, they have a lot of removals, so I could have cut the All Fate Stalker for the 3/3 Haster, give myself another artifact, another 3/3 creature. It's definitely an interesting prospect. Another Bruntar could have been also decent. But that game was just kind of a disaster. We mulliganed, and it didn't really go our way in addition to that. Play first. Can we just get an opening hand that's keepable? Like, we keep getting the Technician. It's just like, oh my gosh. Well, I guess we have to keep this, but it's really bad. It's very unfortunate the way that our draws have gone, especially because we have a Sacred Foundry to make our mana a little bit better even. It's just really not going our way. Ooh, we found a Sweeper. Nice. Sure, Wormwall Sweeper. Give me a mountain, please. That's kind of like a mountain. I guess I should have kept the planes on top because I could have drawn it after the Pulsar, or after the Expansionist. To go land plus that, but I really need to draw a mountain to cast any of my spells, so. Is Wormwall Sweeper down for the count? Looks like it. Okay, they're also stuck on land, so if we can draw a mountain this turn, I think we can maybe take over. Never mind, they have a lander token. Okay, okay. I really want to play this. Really want to use this to get another mountain, so I can go this, this, this. I think this is the play. I have to go get a mountain here. Sure. Come on, Sammy. I think Sammy's the best play here. It is unfortunate that I had to mulligan every single game this match. Like, having a Bruntar in my hand would be real nice right now, even though I can't cast it for a while. I wonder what they're working with here. They've already used a couple kill spells. Hope they play a big artifact that doesn't do anything unless they untap with it. Looks like they have a tricky turn. They have all spells in hand, I think. My board state's a little bit better, but I haven't been able to pressure them the way I'd like. Debris Field Crusher. Okay, Slag Drill down. Okay. I think that's a pretty clear line. I make the biggest, most power play possible. I still have an emergency eject if they play a really must-kill threat like a Bruntar or something. The Debris Field Crusher is years away from being useful. The emergency eject could even kill the Pangolin if need be, though I don't want to do that. Terrapact Intimidator is probably going to make some artifacts, which could be used to grow the Pangolin. And if not, it'll be a big creature, or reasonable sized creature. They have 4 spells. I have a much better board state, though. Right now, an emergency eject can kill whatever I care about, which is also useful. Perfect. I can kill the Bruntar, attack them for a bajillion. Emergency eject, as Paul said, doing the work. So if they have Lithomancers, whatever it's called, then they can kill all my 2/2s. And then they'd have to have another couple kill spells. So it starts with that. Lithomancer's breaking or whatever. Melded Moxite is not going to do it. Will not do it. Looks like we've got him. Boom. Got the win. We battled hard and played pretty well, I think. So nice stuff. We got through the mulligans and we're headed to the final round 2-0. Let's try to get that trophy. Welcome to the final round. We've already gotten 2 wins, so it's already pretty successful, but let's make it the most successful possible by winning a final battle. Great opening hand. If we draw one of our pangolins, it will be perfect. For now, we'll lead with the scrapper. Because pangolin plus the blade. Never fear the blade. Opponent really needs the pollinator, or they would have sacrificed it potentially. So, like, we did it that way because they didn't block last time, and so they probably are afraid of something again. Scary. Maximum damage. I suspect that I might be able to get an artifact out of this, which would be a big game changer. So I'm going to be patient. Gosh darn it. You hate to see it. Would I rather kill this guy or this guy? I think I have to kill the gene pollinator. Because... yeah. Because every extra mana for the survey mechan is pretty brutal for me. Okay, so this thing's going to be really annoying. So it's going to cost 5 if they have 5 types. Which they do. So it's going to cost 5 mana. They're going to gain 3, deal 3 to my pangolin or something. Maybe my modifier. Sure. Let's get our extra land out. They can use their survey mechan now, but they want to use it during blocks. We will decline. Okay. So they have infinite cards. Bruntar. That's not great to see. Okay, they can't cast it. That's lucky for me. Interesting. I'm surprised they killed the pangolin, to be honest. Well, that's really bad for me. Yikes. Wow. I wasn't able to pressure them the way I wanted this game. They have too many reach creatures. I can't get through. Okay, so this is a case where I just want to go all out aggro. Can't kill that. It's got hexproof. I might want this guy though. Let's just run it back. I think our deck is pretty well suited in its base configuration, at least. That's like the goal, is to be fast and stuff. Not drawing a 2-drop really did hurt us a little bit. Perfect, we got our hand. Sammy can help us take over the game as well. Pangolin into Molecular Modifier should be pretty good. They're mulliganing. Their deck seems very inconsistent, which is good for us. Pangolin. Oh my gosh, absolutely brutal. That is not good for us. Oh no. Well, this game's over. Well, it's good to see some of the possibilities in this format because we are so toasted. They just have it all. Maybe not. Gosh, them killing our guy and getting a lander token into the scout lander there, that was a really good play. Sure. Oh no. I messed this up potentially. I think the technician. Oh no, this still works. This still works. Perfect. Super dead. Yeah, we're super dead. We tried our hardest. This was just a really unwinnable matchup based on the way the draws played out. I don't think I could have imagined a better draw step than when they had. This thing just owned me. They played a 1-mana 2/2, then they played this thing, and then they like played this card on curve to just get 2 types, which was just too much. Too much. We had a pretty reasonable run, though. We played pretty well. I think our sideboard strategy was pretty reasonable as well. Sure. So they're going to get to draw another card and ping me again. Mm-hmm. Grow, little pangolin, grow. Oh my gosh. They even drew a good spell. And they're surveilling 2 to the top. This is so over. Okay. Yeah, we tried our hardest. We fought hard, but it's really hard to beat that kind of draw. They mulliganed into like maybe the best possible hand they could have had. 2/2 on turn 1, kill my guy. Turn 3, double ramp. Then turn 4, they played 2 5/5s. It was just crazy. But still, 2-1, pretty solid run with this deck. Thanks again to Paul Cheon for coming on as a guest. You can find his YouTube channel linked in the description. It's just called Paul Cheon, and there will be links, and it's definitely worth checking out. He makes great videos. This was a really solid build. 2 Sammys, Possibility Technician, a couple of vehicles, the Wormwall Sweeper and the Rammer. Lots of just really solid cards. We only had the 1 rare, I think, and but it ended up working out pretty well. And I think overall this deck was really, really fun. If you did make it all the way to the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag Cheon to let me know you made it all the way to the end, because Paul was a great guest and it was a ton of fun having him on. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.